And with that, the 2024 season comes to an end.
Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers, don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be a final day.
Who got sick of hearing that soundbite? I wish I got royalties for it. It's a little bit like, if you're old enough to remember, I am. When Everything I Do It For You, Bryan Adams got to #1. And it never left for a substantial amount of weeks. Anyway, welcome back to the vlog. Do not worry, it is not another vlog of me hacking. Although, I could do another one. It's bloody lovely around here. And to be honest, when you're getting horses fit, this is what you do a lot of the time. It's not all about jumping the big fences, is it? So what I thought I'd do this week is I have taken Pod back in the school, and I've got a few little schooling sessions that I thought, let's go through, let's break it down. The filming is shite, not gonna lie, it's static because I need to invest in some kind of photography equipment, but your girl's poor after Christmas, so that'll have to wait. But let's go through it. First up is when I first took her back in the school and we were just doing a bit of walk and trot. It's voiceover me again. Welcome back. I want to record these sessions, and I know the camera is static and it's not the best sometimes to watch, but a lot of my YouTube is for things I can look back on. So when we're hopefully scooting around Badminton, Burley, wherever we might end up, or just Epworth, I can look back on these first sessions and just see the progress that she's made. So here I am, fetching her in the indoor school. We love the indoor school. She knows it very well now. I am quite keen to ensure with any horse that they are able to be mounted still and calm and they wait. I don't like particularly mounting a horse that darts off, so I've worked very hard with P because she used to be terrible at getting on, but now she knows she waits and she gets a little treat as a reward for being a very good girl. So what I'd set up here is just 3 poles on one side and just a single pole on the other. The 3 poles look a bit of odd spacing, and that's simply just because they were like fanned out, because my thought process was that I could use the outside for walking on a circle and the inside was closer for trotting. It worked all right. She does wreck it by the end of it, but we are where we are. She's still learning. This is her first proper schooling session back in the school. Before, we've just kind of done a little bit of a walk round, trot round. She's been lunged in here. So what I'm doing at the moment is just walking her around, not particularly asking for a contact, as in a collected contact. She does naturally go into quite a nice outline when she's walking. I just need to get her. The whole stage at the minute with P on the stages of training, scales of training do they call it, is rhythm, and we need to get that consistent rhythm with her. So I'm not concerned on where her head is at the moment. It is where it is. I'm trying to hold a steady contact so she knows that I'm there. Apply my leg, so more leg to hand, as I've been taught by the wonderful Jess, and just get her walking around, just feeling comfortable, and trying to work on that rhythm a little bit more. So she's walking around really well. I would say she probably needs to be just that little bit more forward, but she'll get there. She's very calm. P was always a horse that was never a lover of the school when I first got her. She always found the school quite stressful, and she was always very anxious. At the start, she never really wanted to leave the others, but now we've moved to this new yard, she is so much more settled, and I'm loving it. She is very calm to work with. She doesn't mind leaving the others. She's in like a herd in the field, and she is the bottom of the herd, so she's quite happy to be with them or not. I'm just moving her into trot now and just trying to get her again, literally just moving forward off my leg, just to kind of say, come on, mate. She sometimes does like a bit of a head weave, and that's when I'm just trying to hold the contact a little bit, and she's just fighting it slowly. She has got a martingale on here, which I do remove later on, because I'd really like her to work not in a martingale. I like my tack to be simple as they come. So she is in a egg-butt snaffle and a cavesson noseband, and I want to keep her in that if possible. So now whatever I do on one rein, I'm going to do on the other. So I warmed her up on the other side, and then now I'm just going to slowly start walking her over these poles and then round to the single pole, and just go like that for a few ways round, see what she thinks. Once I've done it a few times in walk, I'm now just working on that transition and trying to see what she thinks of it in trot. I do think here the trot needs to be a lot more forward. I'm currently working on that, and will continue to work on that. But she did the poles really well. I cannot fault her. She tried really hard, and she's going over the single pole well. Yeah, she's going around like a llama at the minute, but that's not our main concern at this point. What I'm going to do now is just mirror everything on the other rein to see if she's, because horses and humans, don't they have a preference usually to one rein? I can't honestly tell you at the minute which one her preference is or which one mine is. We haven't done enough schooling sessions. She seems to be pretty not straight and on level on both of them at the minute, but that's the work in progress. And that's the joy as well of kind of like bringing a horse on at any age really, is that you get the enjoyment from the smallest things. So as I'm washing this back, I'm just kind of thinking she just needs to get that more forward rhythm. She's just a little bit, I would say, kind of behind the leg there. But the sessions that we are working on, she is improving. And like I said, she's got some lessons coming up as well, which I'll record so you guys can hear what is being said and to see how we need to kind of work this forward. But yeah, we're just going to walk around these poles for a bit and then into trot. And I think it's on this rein that when she's trotting around, she actually kind of like trashes the poles by the end of it. There we go. So that stops the session, because I am lazy AF and I am at this point not going to get off to do them poles. Well done, P. I didn't think she did too bad. Next up, my friends, is the second time back in the school, and we were doing a little bit, no poles this time, but we were doing a little bit of introducing canter work. Now, me and Pod's canter journey has been scary. So she's a typical ex-racer where she used to run into a canter very much so, and it used to terrify me, I'm not gonna lie. She was very forward, so I've had to learn to sit and push, but the break's done her good, because check this out, and then we'll reconvene and see what you think afterwards. This was the session where I thought, right, she's been out on a lot of hacks. We've done a session of walking and trotting in the school. Let's see what our canter is like. Now, Pod used to scare me. I'm going to be totally honest with you. In canter, she used to kind of like jump into it and then run very fast, as I felt. Now, I will also say that I'm a bit of a wuss, and I think I'm going faster than what I am most of the time, which is why she probably looks quite behind the leg when we're looking at this back, and that's why I have lessons to try and work on getting that forward momentum, because it doesn't come naturally to me. I do find it hard work. So, you know, we're all learning here, aren't we? So what I'm going to start with is a bit of a warm-up for her, and I find Pod works really well on a very long rein to start off with, and just getting her to try and get her to stretch her neck down a little bit and just relax and just take it all in. I'm not going to take that shorter rein at this stage while she's just working in, because I just want her to have a little bit of relaxation, a bit of stretch down. So that's why you'll see I've got quite a long rein. There is a contact at the end of there, and I'm just kind of like assisting her to try and bring that head down. And I love, you'll see in these last two videos, I love a figure of 8. I have to plan my schooling sessions because I lack creativity like you have never known. So I do like a figure of 8, and that's usually how I warm up. So this is just going round in walk and trot and getting prepped, because today was the day that I'd got in my head, we're going to see what this canter is like. What I usually do in my head, and this is just what I use, is that I'll pick a point when I'm going to ask for the transition to canter. So looking at this back, I would say the trot probably needs to go a little bit more forward. But here I go, I've picked it on that marker, and I've said, right, at that point, I am going to sit and ask for canter. And what a good horse she was. She struck off straight away. She's very unbalanced. She's very wobbly. She's not very strong yet. But you know what? I don't think that's a bad canter transition for the first time back in the schools. Yeah, she falls into the trot transition there. We've got to work on it. But she's calm. She is moving forward. She is striking off on the right leg when I ask her. So I was so pleased. And this restored a lot of confidence for me. So I'm doing it on the opposite rein there. Same point. Asking for canter at that marker. And she was so good. Yeah, we're a llama again as we're going round. But you'll notice the martingale is off. So as I'm going around there, I'm just going to take it. I'm taking her down to a smaller circle. And at some point, she'll see me going light seat. And that's when I'm just trying to help her with the balance. And then I'll sit more or less on the straighter sides. Just so she gets used to somebody sitting into that canter. And here we are, just walking off. And then I think I finished this session, if I remember, by trying to really work on those trot transitions. So to strike off when I ask her to, so straight into it, instead of kind of like the half-hearted, do you really want me to trot or not? So how was I was going around here, I was picking a point, a marker again when I wanted to ask for the trot, and then I was trotting round to, I wish I could tell you what markers are, but I can't remember. And here again, look, I was asking for a walk transition, and then I repeated this at the next marker. I asked for the trot again, and then walk at the following one, and I did this on both reins. I think I actually got my brave pants on now, and I'm thinking, yeah, let's try them canter transitions again, just to make sure, you know, it wasn't just a one-off. She was feeling comfortable, and I am happy to report the canter transitions continued to be the nice, calm manner that it had been the whole session. I really think she's just grown into herself. She's enjoyed the break and she's now ready to start a bit of work. So all in all, super pleased with her, and then I called her off. What a good girl she was. So I'm going to pop up some footage now just to compare January 24, when this was the decision that I was like, I can't ride this pony and she needs to be sold. And then let's have a look at this and then we'll come back. You can see, I don't know whether it's the brake that's done her good, the yard move, I'm feeling more confident, whatever it is, it's blooming working and I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. So that's a few bits of our early schooling sessions. We have got a lesson coming up and I have entered an intro test in dressage, so stick around as we take her for her first trip out soon and see how she behaves in the big wide world, because she's faultless at the moment. Welcome to 2025. It's going to be a good one. Like, after losing 4 horses in the last 2 years, I'm going to make it a good one. So thanks for joining and I'll see you next week. I don't know what is next week. Tune in and see.